Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Lanese and I share videos on motivation, spirituality, blending the two together so you can get the best benefit out of it. This week's video is part 2 of how to increase positivity and happiness in your life. I am going to give you another dose of 6 tips on how you can do this, as promised in last week's video. So if you haven't watched that one, once you're done watching this one, check out that video. Diving right in, tip number 1 is to do something every single day that will make your day a win. This thing that you do should be something that you control. So it should be making your bed, drinking a cup of coffee, creating a task list. It can even be brushing your teeth. Something that you know you will do every single day, and by doing that thing, you will make the day a win. Tip number 2 is for an entire week, audit your inner talk. Happiness and positive energy are skills that you can build, and then you can create them as traits that go along with your persona. Have that growth mindset that says you can build these things. You're not born with a certain level of happiness and positive energy, and that's that. That's what the fixed mindset myth wants us to believe. You know that positive energy is something that you can build, so in order to build it, you have to figure out why you don't have it in the first place. This process means noticing and keeping track of the negative things that are pulling you away from your happiness. Notice the past memories that you go back to, because past memories that we go back to that make us feel negative and unhappy are showing us that we need to heal those past wounds. Like I said in last week's video, for the final tip, I talked about how healing yourself is so vital. If there's something that you keep replaying, maybe it's a visceral image that is pulling you back to a traumatic moment, don't try to ignore that. And this will tie into my last tip, which is my most crucial tip on how to increase your positive energy. So stick around to hear that tip. But sometimes we have to go back to these moments, heal them through grounding ourselves and having these positive habits. And then we can focus on this now moment and find all of that happiness within it. On the contrary, notice those future moments that pull you into a positive mindset. These might be goals, things that excite you, the now moment experiences like seeing a beautiful flower and just becoming so happy, thinking about how you want to start a garden, how you want to grow flowers like that. What are the future moments that increase your happiness? Because those are the things that you should anchor yourself to, because they will increase your positive energy. So auditing your inner self-talk, your inner dialect, is seeing what pulls you back and seeing what springs you forward in order to address the inner things that are keeping you from positive energy and bringing you to positive energy. Tip number 3 is to develop new habits, new skills, and make a change in your life. Because often we are unhappy and not positive because we are doing this same pattern over and over again. We wake up, we talk about how we don't want to do what we're going to do today. We put that affirmation in our mind, and then our day is terrible. That is damaging. So when you audit your self-talk, you will notice every morning, maybe I wake up and say, I don't want to go to school. That's damaging because you're setting yourself up to have a negative day. Instead, create a new habit where you wake up in the morning and you do things like they say in The Secret, which I've talked about before. You set one foot on the ground and you say thank, and you set the other foot on the ground and you say you. And as you walk to the bathroom, you are thanking the universe for the life that you have. And that by default, that new habit that maybe every single day you're not going to do it, because habits build over time. It takes 30 days to create a habit. So you're not going to do it every single morning, but setting that intention that most mornings you will do that, you will then build this new habit that can become your anchor to increase your positive energy. Or pick up a talent that you used to love to do as a child, like art. Fill in the last 30 minutes of your day for drawing, because that's what you used to do. And that's something that you love and know that your inner child will thank you for. By default, humans are creatures that crave newness and spontaneity. Even if you are someone who does not like new things, we have been conditioned to not like new things. In the wild, if we weren't living in this civilized society, we'd be doing new stuff all the time. We'd be having to go for the kill and get that animal, taste that new thing, sustain what you crave. You have a hunger inside of you, and if you are in a negative mindset, that's probably because your hunger's not being fulfilled. A lot of people tell me they're unhappy, and then I ask them what they do with their day, and they say they just lay in bed all day and watch Netflix. Well, yeah, you do that every single day. Duh, you're unhappy. Because if you don't fill your day with things that are new and fresh and challenge you, your brain will start to create challenges. Your brain will start to create setbacks and struggles that you should be having in your daily life because you're going for your goals, but instead it's going to be these internalized things. So that's why you audit your self-talk, you take baby steps to get to this place that you need to go to, and then you realize, okay, well, I notice every time I just watch Netflix, I'm depressed. But then when I'm eating a salad or when I'm eating food, I'm having dinner, when I'm out with friends, when I'm talking to family, when I'm on the phone with my best friend, I'm happy. Or when I'm on the phone with my best friend and I'm talking about that book that I want to write, that song that I want to produce, that is when I feel the most alive. Those future realities that I am thinking of are the things anchoring me to the positive energy inside of my heart. And it is so hard to change habits, right? Be easy on yourself. Some days you're going to fall back into watching Netflix. That's okay, but it's having that vision, like I talked about in last week's video, where you bullet point 10 things that you want to expand upon, creating those little sticky notes even while you're sitting in bed and watching Netflix. It's all step-by-step new habit that will then propel you into a positive way of thinking. Tip number 4 on how to increase your positive energy and happiness is to help somebody. They have done studies on people who are the most happiest, and the people who are the happiest help others. If you're unhappy and you think you don't have a whole lot of positive energy, when was the last time you helped somebody for the sake of helping them with no expectations in return, like I talked about in last week's video? Be honest with yourself. And realize when you help someone from the goodness of your heart, you're helping yourself, because we are natural creatures that crave being there for others. When you help somebody, you increase your positive energy by default, because humans are herding creatures. We live with a bunch of other humans for a reason. Even if you're the most introverted person who needs to go away and maybe watch that Netflix to relax, we all love to help people and to be important in someone's life. That shows us that there's a reason why we're here. So if you're feeling worthless and you're feeling like you have no point, go help someone. They will show you how important you truly are and thank you for what you've done. And that in turn will skyrocket your happiness and make you feel so good about your day. Tip number 5 is to live in the moment. There is a book called The Power of Now, which I will link down below, that I read that talks about this. This is why mindfulness is such a growing industry, and people who practice mindfulness are getting so much out of it. Think about it this way. All you have is this moment, and the future is this moment. Time was created to understand reality. Time is so complicated because the future is the now. Every single moment that passes, the next moment is the future. But when you're in the next moment, that's the now. We are just propelling through the now moment constantly. And there are some cultures that actually don't see time as linear. They don't see it as the past here, the future here. They sometimes see it as the past here and the future here. Some cultures actually see time in this very interwoven structure, almost like you're writing a novel. When you write a novel, you think of different ideas for the novel at different times. We don't really understand what's going on here. The future could be in front of us or behind us. The past could be in front of us or behind us. It's very interesting when you actually look into this. So this point challenges you to think about how the past and the future might not even be what you conceptualize it as. But what you can know for certain is you have this now moment and cherish this now moment. So I encourage you to live your life staying in the moment. And you're going to say, Ashley, how do I do that? Well, the way that you do that is you activate your 5 senses. You think to yourself, what can I hear right now? What do I feel right now? What do I see? What can I taste? What can I smell? And then you ground yourself and feel your feet on the floor and your body in contact with the earth. That leads me to my final tip, which is tip number 6. Express, don't suppress. So here we are debunking a myth that in order to increase your positivity and happiness, you have to be positive all of the time. That is toxic positivity and toxic happiness. I am an expressive creature, and I share tips on my Instagram about being motivated, and I know that when you land on my page, you feel this bright light, positive, happy energy, and you think to yourself, wow, she must always be positive. And actually, I am somebody who is a Cancer moon, if you like astrology. What that means is I love to feel the widest range of emotions. And that is actually the perfect placement for a moon sign, which means that I don't hold back in that feeling of expressing myself. So what I am guiding you to do is when you feel upset, when you feel depressed, when you feel sad, don't suppress it. Being positive and being happy does not mean suppressing your emotions. It means feeling them. But feeling them does not mean reacting. When you feel so mad that you want to punch a wall, the punching of the wall is the reaction. I'm not encouraging you to react on your emotions. I'm encouraging you to simply feel your emotions. Let it flow through you, but don't react. Don't do anything that you're going to regret. Instead, do something that I learned in my acting class, which is the vital tip that is, we only ever move to fulfill a need. So you want to punch the wall because you want to fulfill the need of expressing that emotion instead of doing something destructive that is going to hurt you and maybe even damage your house. What I want you to do instead is to take that emotion and channel it into something else. That is why exercise is so vital to increasing your positive energy. If you have that urge inside of you, you're allowing yourself to feel it because that's the best way to increase your positive energy. Let these emotions flow through you, but channel them into something constructive, not destructive. And I talked about this on my How to Control Your Emotions video. As I shared with you in that video, I am somebody who struggled with anger issues. It doesn't seem like it now because I learned a bunch of ways to, instead of react terribly, I learned how to react and channel my emotional discomfort into things that would propel me to get my goals. These emotions that you feel have power and passion in them. They have an energetic charge that can springboard you into positive energy. People have different ideas of anger. Some people think you should never be angry. However, anger can be super motivating if you learn how to use it correctly. I believe our emotions are our superpowers, and we haven't learned how to control our superpowers because society isn't built to think of them that way. So this is why you're watching these videos. You're trying to get a hold on the superpowers you have within you. So happiness and positive energy doesn't mean swallowing down all of the bad emotions and suppressing it and condensing it and trying to ignore it and thinking that it will go away. No, that will make you depressed on the inside, trying to reflect this positive energy, and everyone will feel that you're doing that. They will feel the layers underneath your positive energy, and it won't be until you work through that you actually increase positive energy within you. That is why I advocate for being relatable and sharing your most authentic vibes to people. If you don't feel happy, tell somebody. The quickest way to move out of an emotion is to address it immediately. If you're trying to build charisma and you want to talk in a public setting and you're stumbling all over your words, the best way to stop stumbling all over your words is to be like, oh gosh, I just stumbled all over my words. Hold on, let me collect myself. That will make people feel relatable to you because they already can tell you're stumbling all over your words. They can hear it. They're like, man, this person's really messing up. When you address it, you move past it. So when you express and you don't suppress, you are addressing that issue right there and now. When you suppress something, you're wasting your time because you're condensing it, you're drowning it out, and you're gonna have to deal with it later. So my advice to you is to process through it head on right when it hits you. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. That's all that I have for you guys today. Let me know any points you would love to hear more about. I would love to make them. Be sure to look me up on Instagram where I share motivation. You can also check out my TikTok, and I do post new videos every Monday. Make sure to hit that bell and subscribe. That helps me help you, and I will see you in the next video.